Hey guys, welcome back to GenTwenty. So today I just wanted to talk to you about my experience with Daily Harvest. So if you don't know, Daily Harvest is a meal delivery company that's like one step ready, like one step prep kind of situation. And so everything comes in cups basically. And then depending on like what you get in the cup, I'll explain that like a little more in a second. But it's like you either have to like blend it or heat it up or whatever. So they have their kind of like claim to fame is smoothies, and that to me it was like, spoiler alert, like huge standout thing when it comes to Daily Harvest. But they also have harvest bowls, oat bowls, lattes, bites, chia bowls, and soups. And I did not try all of these things yet, and just so you know, they did send this box to me that I'm reviewing, but I plan to reorder my own box in the next probably week or two. But I just wanted to walk you through kind of like unboxing the box, like what it looks like when you get it, like what the different things look like, what they are, and then I'm going to share with you after all that what I think was most worth it and what I would reorder on my own when I get my own box. So let's just jump into that. Okay, so the first thing we have is a smoothie. It's cacao and avocado. Looks like this. I think you're meant to take the lid off and then you choose your liquid base. So I think they have recommendations on and it suggests almond milk. So then you fill it to the top with liquid and you put it all in the blender and then you blend everything and put it back in the cup. So this is the first one, and these are the ingredients in here. And then we have another smoothie that is mint and cacao. This is Tart cherry and raspberry. This bowl is apple and cinnamon. This is also an oat bowl with mulberry and dragon fruit. This is a harvest bowl with cauliflower, rice, and pesto. Sweet potato and wild rice hash. This is Brussels sprouts and lime pad thai. Let's see. Oh, these are bites. So I think, yeah, they just look like that. And this is what is in these ones. These are cacao nibs and vanilla. Orange lids are bites. This is a smoothie, strawberry and peach. It's just like sneak peek what it looks like. Oh. Okay, so now for the fun part, the making of the smoothies. So the first one I had was the strawberry peach smoothie, and this was definitely one of my favorites. Like, I thought the flavor profile was just really great. And then I used pea milk for this one, and as you can see, as I start blending it here, that the amount of milk that filling up the cup gave me like wasn't enough liquid to actually blend the smoothie. So I ended up adding just a little bit more and a little bit more until I got to the consistency that I wanted it to be. And then all was well once that happened. The blending took me probably like a couple of minutes, so I wouldn't say it's like super fast process, but if you have a few minutes in the morning, then that's all you really need to make your smoothie. So next I tried the banana and green smoothie, and I also really like this one. I find that usually when there are green smoothies, they're actually really good. So I really like that this one came out green as well. And it's just, as you can see, I just kept blending to kind of get rid of the spinach chunks. And I was using like a NutriBullet, so it could just be that my blender was older, but it still didn't have any problem blending the smoothies up because, as you can tell, it all just kind of worked. But I just kept adding more and more liquid. Next I had the cacao and avocado one, and this is actually the one that I couldn't finish eating. I don't know what was in this one that I just really didn't like, but it was not for me. So now I'm making one of the oat bowls. It's apples and cinnamon oats, and I really like the flavors in here, and I thought it had like a lot of awesome things in it. But I also wanted to point out that these have 2 servings in them, so if you're trying to be like really calorie conscious or something like that, you might not want to make the full package. And not that that really matters, but if you are, you know, watching your calories or concerned about that, that's just something to note. And then you also have to add in the calories from the milk that you're using, whether you're using a plant-based milk or cow's milk or whatever. Next, we have the Tart cherry and raspberry smoothie. I also really like this one, and I don't even like raspberry. And I feel like it can be a little concerning that there's like cauliflower in some of these, but it really just like blends right in and you don't even know that it's there. I feel like generally the fruit takes like the dominant flavor, in my opinion. And I really like that this one was like this bright purple color. It was really fun. I don't know, I feel like that just makes smoothies so much more fun. So next we have the Brussels sprouts and lime pad thai harvest bowl. I actually really liked this one. I felt like this one was like smaller in terms of volume than the others that I tried, probably because it had a lot of like leaves in there instead of like hearty vegetables. But I felt like this was a really good like complimentary, I guess, side or meal or something. Not really like a full meal, but yeah, like a complimentary thing. So I wish I had made eggs with that one. So next I have the mulberry and dragon fruit oats. As you can see, it's like really just mostly oats, and then it has the fruit on top, and I definitely added way too much liquid for this, and it was still edible and fine, but I would just recommend being a little more cautious with the oats when you're making them. Then we have cauliflower rice and pesto. This one was a huge hit for me. I would definitely get this one again. I don't really know what made it so good, but another thing I just want to point out is that they use cauliflower as like one of their main ingredients in a lot of things, and I feel like that's interesting. I'm not sure if it's really like a filler ingredient or not, so I know there are health benefits to cauliflower, but anyway, just wanted to point that out. So I just made it on the stove, and then I added 2 eggs to this one, so it's like looking like a little more than it would be if I hadn't added the eggs, but that was like a perfect afternoon or like lunchtime meal for me. And then my second to last smoothie is the cherry and almond smoothie. And I liked this one. And something I also wanted to say is that I use pea milk for all of them, but you don't have to do that. You can use what they recommend or just whatever you prefer. And as you can also see, they make the chunks really small, which I think helps them blend really quickly and really easily. So that is one pro over like huge frozen chunks of fruit that you might buy at the store, because none of that is really very small. But yeah, so that one was fun and easy to make, and I also really like this one. Would probably get it again. And last we have the mint and cacao smoothie. This is the last smoothie. I don't know what was in this one that I just really didn't like. This is another one I couldn't really finish. I think the cacao ones are just like not for me, so I probably won't get those again. And the bites that I also didn't show throughout this part, but in the unboxing portion of the video, those were also not worth it to me, and I probably wouldn't get those again. But there are 7 of them in every container, so that's something to take into account. And last we have the sweet potato and wild rice hash, and this was delicious as well. I felt like this was really hearty and made a good meal, and I also added eggs to this one. And these are really easy to cook up, and I know you can make them in the microwave, but I didn't do that. But anyway, okay, so now that you've seen all that, before we jump into like any more of my review, I do just want to talk about the price of Daily Harvest. So I have it in front of me just so I don't like mess it up, but the cost for 9 smoothies a week is about $69, and then for 12 smoothies a week it's $90, and then for 24 it's $167. So obviously it kind of like smoothie is just like anything that you're choosing from their lineup basically, so cups I guess. So a lot of that, like obviously the more that you get the better of a deal it is, because it's like less cost per cup, but I mean that can depend on like how fast you're gonna eat them and stuff like that. So if you're getting like 24 for the month, like that just might be a month for you. And they were so kind and offered us a code for $25 off, and the code is just GenTwenty, and you can use that on any tier of the pricing. So just wanted to share that with you in case you want to order a box or you're planning to order a box. But anyway, so as you can see, what I tried were smoothies, oat bowls, harvest bowls, and the bites. And the bites just like weren't really worth it to me. I don't even think I have a clip of them that you just saw because they basically just like look like little cookie dough balls, but they're still like somewhere around like 80 to 100 calories for one of those, and to me they just tasted like healthy cookie dough, so like chickpeas and stuff. And I feel like if I'm wanting to eat something sweet like that, I'd rather just eat like one cookie, you know? I mean, I know that there's like the difference in nutritional value and blah blah blah, but I don't know, to me they just weren't really worth it. Like what really stood out to me was the harvest bowls and the smoothies. I had one smoothie I didn't like. I think it was the peppermint and cacao one. And it's just, I felt like that one just couldn't like blend well enough. Like maybe it was just what I was using for it, but I don't know. It just wasn't the thing for me, you know? And then the oat bowls I felt were kind of not worth the money because it's basically just like a bunch of oats and then like frozen fruit. And I feel like what you could do with that, if that's how you were making your oats, is just to buy like a container of oats and then frozen fruit from the grocery store and just make your oats that way. And like again, yes, there's like different flavors and like added health benefits and stuff, but like for me, I really felt that the most value was coming from like the smoothies. But I also really like the harvest bowls. I didn't make any of mine in the microwave. I made them on the stove. And what I did was like I would heat them up in the pan, and then most of the time, I think almost every one that I made, I put 2 eggs with it just as like extra protein to be like a little more filling. And that was like the perfect lunch for me. Like I really like that. And so I think when I place my next order, I'm probably going to do like 70% smoothies, 30% harvest bowls. But I also want to try, make sure I get this right, some of the chia bowls and some of the lattes. I'm just like really curious how those are because I didn't get to try them in the box that I received. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna try any soups. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess I could try it for review purposes, but they just don't really seem that worth it to me, you know? I really feel like I would love to have one of the smoothies every day. And the harvest bowls, like especially because they're frozen, you can keep them for like quite a while. So getting like the box of 9, I feel like would be a good value. But overall, I do think that Daily Harvest is worth the money for the right things. And obviously that depends on like your personal tastes and preferences. Like for me, when I make smoothies, it's like my spinach is all wilted before I even remember that I bought it to make a smoothie. And like my frozen fruit gets like freezer burnt before it's time, and then I still try to make it and it just doesn't work out. And like I feel like it's hard to like get the flavor profile right, and then I'm just disappointed every time. So for me, the smoothies are definitely like where it's at, and I definitely like I want to try all the flavors. Like they all look so good. But I don't know, another thing that I did know, and that I think I probably said already, but was when I was making the smoothies, it needed to add more liquid than it like says to add because my blender really struggled to blend it with just like the amount that they said. So, I mean, your blender might be different, but that's just like, it's kind of like a nitpicky thing, which is something to note when you're making it. And then like when I made my oats, as you saw, they were like super watery. I don't know what happened. It's my fault though, but yeah, they were like soupy oats. But even still, I still think the same thing about the oats, where it's just like kind of make your own is like a better situation, you know? So anyway, I hope this was helpful if you are thinking about trying Daily Harvest. If you've tried Daily Harvest, I'd love to know what your favorite thing from them is because I'd love to try it. And don't forget that you can use the code GenTwenty, I'll put it here, for $25 off your first Daily Harvest box. And if you do try it, let me know what you think. And thank you for watching. Bye!